Payapang isipan, Gopalakas. Malinis na paligid, mabuting kalooban. Gopalakas, hangad na maglingkod sa kapwa't kaibigan. Gopalakas, alagaan natin si inang kalikasan. Halika na totoo sa kalikasan at kapwa-tao. Isa buhay natin ito. Kalusugan, pangkalikasan, Gopalakas.
Good morning.
Hello.
Morning, everybody.
Hello everybody.
Hello.
Magandang umaga ho sa inyong lahat. Good pleasant morning. Oh, it's the second Saturday of
Of the year.
the year.
Nice.
New Year.
So we hope everybody's okay and trying to stay safe. Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
you know, nowadays it's so important that we just went through a year of applying certain changes in our ways and habits, and it's still not ending. We still are continuous with this. It's a continuing process. Dahil nagbabago pa rin ang sitwasyon natin in relation to the pandemic. Now, it's important for us to understand that, you know, it's the beginning of the year. Yeah. I do hope many of you who are listening in gives us a feedback on how you would look forward to this year and what are your thoughts, and share us your thoughts, no?
Yeah.
In what is very much important for you. Yeah. What are the things you need to change? Diba?
That's the title, New Beginnings. So, we would like you to share kung anong mga new beginnings ang gusto nyong embark on after a whole year pass. Maganda kasi may vision eh.
Right.
It's always good to have direction and vision for what you are receiving as an opportunity, a big opportunity for another year. So, wow, this is parang a gift of additional time for us to fulfill certain things. So, naku, umpisa pa lang, meron na tayong kasamang mga kaibigan. Yeah?
And let's greet Irwin Resurrection, who is
Yes.
from Australia.
Yes.
And of
Siyempre,
course,
but
our
formerly
ever...
Filipino yan. Ano? But by the looks of his family, and, you know. But definitely nice of you to be watching, and best regards to everybody there in Australia. No?
Yeah, and hello to Rosalinda Lascano who's staying in Japan. Yeah.
Yes, and of course, Kalindi and Mike Rex na bumabati ng good morning sa amin at sa inyong lahat na rin, you know. Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
So
So although we finished with 2020 that has ended, every ending leads to a new beginning.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's what we're doing today. We're going to talk about new beginnings. Share with us what you've started anew. You know, after things changed dramatically and very emphatically last year, so many things changed in our lives. What did you end up beginning? You know, when the way we used to do things had to end.
yeah, last year there were so many of us. In the beginning, it was so unexpected because we thought everything was just going to be in the borders of China as far
Yeah.
as the pandemic
Oh,
was
it would be
concerned.
short
So,
term, no?
Yeah, and we never knew that it will have a worldwide impact and that it will alter most of our lives. This is one pandemic that, you know, we all would remember in history, that it basically, all of our momentum was stopped.
Change talaga. Changes.
So people had to apply new things, have to relearn. Yeah.
Or learn new things, yeah? Like, I suddenly learned how to cut hair. Yeah.
Oh, yung mga misis natutong maging barber, no? I don't know if the husbands are happy, but hey, hello, you saved money and that's a new skill for the women.
And pwede naman pala.
Pwede
We
rin
don't need to
pala.
go
And
out
also it won't,
for that.
siyempre, necessity na ngayon yun.
Yes.
It's a need
Oo.
because we still have to stay safe, you know?
Yes.
Even if
Yes,
the
no,
barber
who knows
shops
how
are
long.
open, we have to still be very careful, especially those who are in, bagano, if you have issues with your health or you're in a senior level,
Yeah. You don't want to go out there just to get a
right,
haircut.
or for our children, the younger ones, you know?
Yes.
So there are things that we have to be doing ourselves. Anyway, ganun naman ang buhay ng araw eh.
Tsaka meron mga natutong mga new skills, hindi ba?
Yes, biglang
new
naging teacher
skills,
lahat
new
ng
beginnings.
mommies. Okay. I mean,
Okay.
although that is really part of what we do as parents, but of course now the load is bigger than we expected.
Even in terms of cooking, nagkaroon ng mga bagong mga chefs na
You
tsaka
know what?
mga
Really,
bakers.
really. Oh, yeah.
The most important thing right now in this situation is kasi most of the time we were so focused on the things that we like doing ourselves only.
Yes.
And we got so used to this for so many years because that has been how our society has programmed
Geared
us.
us, oo.
Tama?
yes.
We're playing a certain role and we have to be contributing this way. So even in families, there was time to be together. And this is should not be something that is negative, but it's something that should have been going on for so long.
Yeah.
That family unit should have not been, kumbaga, na set aside, and every member of the family will be doing their own thing too. Di ba? May naging ganun ang ano natin the way of life eh.
Yes, kanya-kanya.
Right.
Oh,
And then
everyone had
our
their own schedules. Sige,
Yeah.
kita tayo
parents
mamaya.
parents really never supervise the education of their children. They just want to make sure that the children are doing their homework and that's it.
Yeah.
And even after classes, no, they would make it so na maraming extracurricular.
Right.
Send them this
Keep
class,
them
this
busy,
class.
yeah.
you
Yeah, the
know.
idea is just to keep them busy, but never really something that was also very much missing. That's why when the pandemic hit, we could see that even in our own households, how our own children are struggling at home. Simply because how their coping mechanism was not designed to make it so that they can cope to what is changing, the constant changes that's taking place in their life. You know, ganyan eh. Yan ang buhay sa mundo eh, actually.
Yes.
But there are extremes. There are times na medyo, wow, okay, you can be cruisy, but in times today, like today or nowadays, in the past year, we cannot cruise on this one.
Yeah,
you
we
know.
have to be very careful.
Anyway, talking about this, I just want to say my condolences to the family of General Danny Lim
Yes.
of the MMDA. Yeah, he was the
yes.
head, the chairman. He was a good friend of mine, and we for 3 years he was assigned in the military academy. We were workout partners.
Yeah, during
He was a
lunch.
fitness guy, you know. And then even 3 months ago, I got to talk to him briefly, and I said, "Are you still staying fit?" You know. Sabi niya, "Yeah, as much as possible." But because of his schedule and the stress that goes on with his life, in his position, biro mo MMDA ka.
Siguro kulang sa tulog, kulang
Development
sa pahinga.
Authority.
No? Oo.
Very challenging.
Very
job.
challenging yung
Oo.
trabaho niya. Even knowing him, warrior yan eh. He's a fighter.
Very kind-hearted. I heard in
Yeah.
some chat groups that he was very kind-hearted. He was very hardworking. Nagsasakripisyo talaga siya for others.
Wala yung bisyo masyado.
Oo.
You know. Now, he has proven his worth even while he was an officer in the academy, in the military. Ang daming gold cross niyan eh. Ang dami niyang nasisave ng mga sundalo niya. Magaling na opisyal. And he brought those qualities to civilian life, you know, serving the country. And we all know that he will be missed, you know. And no matter what, we all have to remember this. You know, he still exercised, but he didn't have so much rest.
Oo. Need the balance always.
Need to have a balance. Ito,
Especially if you're a senior already.
Yeah.
Our body doesn't bounce back, you know, like
doesn't
before.
recover so
We don't
quickly.
recover so
kumbaga,
quickly.
no, if there's stress or you live in a very stressful condition, it basically takes its toll gradually also or biglaan.
Naiipon, oo.
Kailangan nga yung self-care Yung
Exactly.
kumbaga what your needs, the essentials are for living a very healthy, balanced and good life, you
Plus,
know.
to share this, you know, that's why there's such a thing as retirement life. It's a time when you have to take your time and prioritize things that you need.
Yeah,
You really need to do that's very important for you. So this time, this is what we want to be sharing with everybody, simply because, you know, by now, you should have some idea of what you want to do this year
Yeah.
and how to go about doing
just
it.
like
you know?
with what happened to General Lim, no? Yung example rin na binigay niya is a good inspiration for others to have a good beginning, you know, to try and follow those kinds of qualities na, you know, sacrifices that people make so that we can actually continue to survive, you know. And at the same time, for ourselves, ano nga yung mga ating beginning? Kasi merong nag-ending, kailangan may beginning uli.
Right.
Hindi
Tsaka,
pwedeng,
you know,
We need
for
to pace ourselves.
for those
yeah?
who are,
Right.
like, there are
Really
those
now.
of us who are, kumbaga, senior year, but yet live a colorful life. Their information, their experience is so vital to be heard and to be learned by others.
correct. Yes.
Mentoring is a key. See, this Danny Lim was a very professional person. Talagang straightforward siya. You know, yung wife niya who was a nurse, doon sila nakilala sa academy.
Oh.
She was a nurse working in Fort del Pilar during that time. And doon sila nakilala at nagsama. You know, simple, very simple. Shows a person who was a nurse, meaning caring.
Oo.
Yeah.
You know.
They're both really service-oriented
Yeah.
people. Yeah.
Okay, so yung ano natin, just to
Remind everyone.
and welcome everybody again. Dito si Henry Yumol from
From Ilocos Norte yan, from
Ilocos,
Ilocos.
greeting us, pang Kalusugan. Ayan, sinabi natin, no?
Pang Kalikasan.
Pang Kalikasan.
And from New Zealand, Braja.
Braja.
Yes,
Oh, and
Braja
from
Price.
Muriel. Oh, good morning, good health. What a nice greeting. Okay. And from Cebu, bumabati si Radhika. Nice to see us daw. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hindi namin kayo makita pero we're very happy to hear from you via your comments. Thank you. Okay? So I just want to share kasi ako naman yung i-share ko today was a story, a true story of an 18-year-old American. Her name is Katie Stubblefield. And she was in senior high and she had a relationship with a guy and one day parang nakaproblema siya with her boyfriend, nagkasamaan ng loob. And she was furiously texting to her boyfriend. And then her mother saw her, oh, what are you doing? Are you okay? Yeah, sabi niya ganon. She just gave a shrug, as the mother says, as most teenagers do. Nag-shrug lang daw ng shoulders. And then nung lumabas yung mother, sinabi niya, they heard this like, it was like a sound. You know?
Very loud sound.
Sabi siya, kala nung mother, pintuan lang na sumara. Yung pala, it was already a gunshot wound. a gunshot, no, from a rifle. Yung pala, Katie grabbed hold. Tumakbo yung tumakbo yung brother at saka yung mother. And kita na lang nung mother yung paa dun outside the bathroom. Then pinush siya nung brother outside. Mom, stay outside. And he later came out, said she shot herself she shot herself and used the hunting rifle of the brother. No? So, she survived because the brain hindi tinamaan, pero na-rip off talaga kasi dito yung gun
So,
niya, tinutok niya.
face
So,
niya.
face niya, yung bibig, yung nostrils, yung mata, talagang biglang napilas ba, kumbaga nag-explode yung face niya.
My God.
So, of course, she was all bloody and they rushed her to the hospital and the doctor said, your daughter talagang halos wala na siyang face. And for, I think, some years, 2 years or 1 year, it's like she described it, people would look at her and it was as if they were seeing a monster. No, yung description niya. And basically, what the doctors did, she became a candidate for a face transplant at Cleveland Hospital, no, Clinic Hospital. They performed yung isang from another woman na namatay from drugs, no. Tinransplant nila yung buong muka. It's not just partial. It was a complete transplant. And Katie had to undergo 17 surgeries. Okay?
For sure, madami.
Surgeries to just reconstruct her face. And there was a psychiatrist. And then after that, she said basically, I am happy to have a second chance at life. Life is actually wonderful. Sabi niyang ganon. So this is coming from a person who went through 17 surgeries, who people were looking at her like she was a monster. And she's saying, from an attempted suicide. And she said, life is wonderful. I'm happy to have a second chance. So makita rin natin she had to go through so many therapies and so much pain and everything. But her fighting spirit to actually make use of her life. And she now, ang goal niya is to become a counselor, a suicide counselor, no? So basically, makita natin na may determination yung bata no? May determination siya. Kaya lang bakit siya nag-suicide? Sabi nung isang psychiatrist, if she only let 5 minutes pass, hindi siya magsusuicide. Kumbaga, inamin ni Katie, it was an impulsive desire.
A very dangerous impulse. My
Ano,
gosh.
and because of her conflict with her boyfriend, hindi ba? Emotional conflict niya na distress siya, and because there was a gun in the house, she grabbed hold of that and performed an act that actually
Could have ended her life.
could have ended her life and now caused her so much pain and suffering, Mas mahaba nga yung consequence So, basically speaking, there are people who are feeling many struggles right now, but there is always, like for her, a new beginning.
Yes, everyone
Kumbaga,
has this.
meron tayong bagong beginning. We're given always a chance. Nagkamali, nahirapan, nadapa, and everything. We're always given the opportunity to actually rise, and continue and pursue, higher purpose in life. The higher purpose, actually, which is very wonderful, is to develop our relationship with the Supreme Being and our relationship with others. No, this is a very wonderful goal, and no matter, don't give up. No, whatever happens, and mga paghihirap, always go on, begin anew if you actually fall.
Yes, sabi nga, if you fall down, that's not the failure. Failure
Yes.
is when you stay down.
Oo.
You know, you fell down, fine. You know, you get up again and go. You know,
Yes.
you've got to have a new beginning.
Plus one has to always remember. Many times, this loneliness, and we feel by ourselves, but this is never a fact. There's always somebody with us,
Yeah.
and there's always somebody around you that
We're
you can reach
never
out
truly
to.
alone
We're
because
never
God
alone,
is with us.
you know.
Yeah.
Kahit awayin tayo ng ibang tao.
Exactly.
Hindi ba? Kahit,
Sometimes we
oo.
get pushed away, or sometimes you get rejected by whatever.
Or
you know,
overlooked.
or not. Hindi ka, kumbaga KSP ang feeling mo.
Oo, not
But-
given the acknowledgement we seek. But,
you will-
know,
yeah, you will
it's
find
not the
that-
end of the world.
Yeah, you will find that there's always somebody there who is very much can provide guidance,
Oo.
How
and who
re-
is giving you the love that you need to live your life,
Yes.
and that you don't have to seek that elsewhere, but actually internalize your life. So kaya sa buhay ng tao, you know, when we look forward to things that we will change in our life, we have to measure things a bit here. Kasi if we measure our physical or our, kumbaga na the word is mundane, our mundane life in this world. Kadalasan kasi there's so many things that changes our life. There's changes in our life constantly.
Yeah.
Pabago-bago yan palagi. Physical at saka mental. Nagbabago-bago yan palagi. But pag pinag-usapan natin ng how do we measure the true maturity of a person? Is it based on our mundane life or is it based on our true life? So when you look forward, okay, what life I want to live, what changes I need to apply to my life, what is the basis of that? Where is it coming from, on what angle?
Yeah.
Most scriptures would teach us this. Jesus Christ taught us this, where real life is.
Yeah, it has to be founded on faith.
Yeah.
On strong faith.
Yeah. You know,
Because without that, yun nga, you end up depressed, you give up, you want to commit suicide.
or
but you
suddenly
end up,
things will have to
things
end.
get worse that way.
You know, if you read now because of the pandemic, how many people have suddenly
Lost jobs.
lost jobs, plus
Or lost somebody. they
or
love.
lost somebody you love, or there are those stories na buong pamilya, you know, they passed away,
Nagkasakit,
or
oo.
isa lang ang
Kaya,
nag-survive.
oo,
These are like traumatic experience, di ba?
Sobra.
So that's why changing things a bit. By nature's design, for example. Tayo, those in the human form of life, the human beings. Kasi ang dami-daming uring life forms eh.
Oo.
Okay, there's millions. No? We have been given full faculties, meaning our capacity to be able to make decisions, to see life in a higher, with a higher purpose. We have been gifted with that. We are given with that. Be given. Nature has given us that.
Intelligence,
For example,
reasoning.
intelligence, reasoning, even our senses. For example, meron tayong sight,
Eyesight.
meron tayong pag-amoy,
Oo.
meron tayong panlasa, meron tayong pandinig, at meron tayo yung feel. Ha? So, just the hearing component alone is so important. Kasi diyan ka na nag-aaral eh. Diyan ka natututo. Compare mo sa ibang species of life. For example, may sinasabi nga in ancient scripture the trees can see.
It's true, no? Pag may puno, pag mayroon nakaharang doon, gaganon
Oo,
siya eh.
lumili siya. And you know what else?
Although they move slowly,
The
but
trees
they can tell.
can smell. Those are the two sensual gifts binigay sa kanila. Paano? Siyempre, paano kaya yun? Siyempre, we try to reconcile that eh. Tapos you have other species of life. For example, the snake has a very strong hearing. Kaya even at night, kahit madilim, wala naman siyang special eyes to see where yung kakainin niya is concerned but he could hear the frog from far away. Yung hearing niya so sharp. So alam niya kung saan siya kagad pupunta. So iba-iba yung ganyan, but the human form of life, tayo lang, we are one of those who have been given full faculties of this sensual
All these
capacity.
senses.
So that we can get information. Kung nawala yung eyesight mo, it is not like the end.
Usually
can still live your life.
hearing becomes more
Right.
enhanced, di ba?
Yeah.
Oo.
Kunyari, nawala, nawala isa o dalawa, you can still function eh. Di ba? So,
Yeah, it's
it only
amazing.
means when one is faced, let's say if you are having some type of difficulty, you have your full faculties with you. You should not be, there are people who are born without eyesight or without the ability to hear. But yet, they would try to do their best
Right.
to make something out of their life.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not like when there's some type of failure in our life, we should not feel, despondent or there's despair. For as long as we have that capacity to function and to learn and listen, then there will be always an opportunity to make improvements in your life.
Oh, don't be afraid to start something new, something different. Yeah,
Okay.
If one way is not working, you can turn around and find another way.
Okay, well, let's take a pause here and greet some of our listeners. Mopet and Quiñones, good morning. Matt Resurrection from Silang Cavite, good morning. Oh, ito na yung lakbay gulay natin. Good morning. Then Ruben Lonto, good morning. Ruben is in California.
Back to our discussion here, no? Ang ating pinag-uusapan natin ngayon ay new beginnings. And therefore, we're trying to give our listeners some viewpoints na para pag merong opportunities na dadating, ay they can actually take advantage of those opportunities to start something that they can actually be more fulfilled in their existence. Di ba?
Yeah,
Yeah,
capacitating oneself.
Actually,
Right.
marami
Don't
akong...
forget to learn
Yeah.
something new.
Yeah, learning new things.
Merong mga tao nga na mga nadisgrasya, no, yung nagkaroon ng severe accidents, mga ganyan. Tapos, or went to war, they come back without legs, without arms. But you can see the spirit of trying to survive and trying to actually do something with their life. I remember somebody saying that they had a convention and their speaker was somebody without arms and without legs. And when he spoke, everybody listened. And when he finished speaking, lahat tumayo, gave him a standing ovation. Parang, wow, you are maybe disabled, pero you are able to move the hearts of people and to
Yes.
inspire people. Parang
It's a
napakaganda, di ba? So what more, if you have more faculties, then the more we can actually do things. di
Because
ba?
if we're engaged in a type of service activity, that's why when you try, okay, what do I do this coming year? Strengthen, and capacitate yourself that you involve yourself now. If you have, we have all survived, most of us, many of us survived this pandemic, but there's still some more to come our way.
Yeah,
But still,
challenges all the time.
it's proven that changes is something that we should readily be doing ourselves.
Yes.
It should not
Yes.
come in as something that is negative. And not to be so kumbaga nakaset ka masyado.
Oo nga.
In life, as human beings, with all the capacity given us, it only means learning new things is a lifelong thing.
Correct. In fact, a lot of people have gone online to learn things. Maraming
now,
nagtitake
marami with
online.
YouTube and all
Oo.
these
And even
places you can
enrolling
learn a
in
lot.
courses given for free by Harvard. I heard
Ang
they're
dami,
giving some
ang daming
skills
free
courses,
courses now.
And basically, meron tayong mga kaibigan, nagtatapos ng masters nila para lang they can do more service to others, no? Nag-aaral sila para they can prepare themselves for actually helping more people.
Yeah, we have a friend, she recently moved here to La Union, but because of the situation we have now, she doesn't have a maid. She used to always hire someone to cook for her and her family. But now, oh, she has to learn how to cook.
She has to be a housewife.
She's beginning to discover that, this is not so bad after all. She's learning this new skill.
More than for anything else, that we should always, again, what kept us together? What kept you together? It's something for us to think about. What kept you together? With all these different experiences we're going through. Sometimes we need to really simplify things. It's okay.
You together
Li-
as you mean we didn't fall apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, we remained strong.
Yeah. There are many of us who are, those who are listening to this story, what kept you together? We all have our own story.
Oo nga.
Yeah.
I was just talking to a friend, sabi niya yung business nila parang i-close nila kasi they had to sell the assets. The rent is still, they don't want to pay the rent, ang taas-taas ng rent. And yet, they're just thinking, okay, how can we move on from this,
Yeah.
Actually, like with this whole pandemic, right? We all had to learn how to do things remotely. Yeah, they call it now remote work. We work from home. And actually, a lot of businesses around the world, they figure they're going to stay with that even if we've gone, past this COVID situation. They've realized that, this remote work is working for us. So none of them, many companies are thinking, okay, we'll stay this way. Imagine, wala ka ng rent babayaran, no? Most of them are seeing that, this new way is actually a way we can continue.
Yeah, you retool everything. Simply.
Retool, yes.
Yeah, you retool things so that, there's certain things we can do without.
Yeah.
If this is ang kapalit naman, okay, let's discover new things. Let's apply new things,
Yes, so.
And then maybe some companies are even thinking of, instead of them reporting 5 days or 4 days a week, you can come report twice a week na lang and then do their work at the home.
Yeah.
And what it does, you know what that is? You know what that means? It strengthens the family unit. It strengthens the community.
Exactly.
It's,
Everything gets better actually.
Yeah.
It lessens the pollution, the traffic.
Many,
It lessens, it
Use
saves
of,
people's time,
Right.
from commuting.
So let's not be afraid of beginnings. Yeah, sometimes beginnings are kind of scary, di ba? Like there's such a thing as a writer's mental block. Di ba? Ayan yung page. Hindi ka
The beginning
makastart.
sentence. Oh my God,
Yeah.
what's the beginning sentence?
Even for the artist, you have a blank canvas and you're kind of, what am I gonna do? Sometimes you just have to start, and then you end up doing more things.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I read, I'm not sure if this is an actual quote. You never know if it's a fake quote these days, but I read that it's from Saint Francis of Assisi. He said, just get started. Do what you can. Do what is necessary. And then later you can do what is possible. And before you know it, you'll be doing something impossible, Akala mo, what? How did I do that? Ang galing. So just have to get started,
Okay, let's hear it from Matt Resurrection. He said, human life is meant for a higher purpose, and that is to achieve self-realization. It is meant to transcend
The
the
miseries
miseries of this world
world.
and achieve eternal happiness. Yes.
And then another one from Leticia.
Leticia Aboy.
Oh, Letty.
Okay.
Hello, Letty.
Says, thank you for being, be
Bida
the solution to this 2021. Continue to inspire for us to enjoy life. Jesus said, I came that we may have life and have it abundantly.
Abundance is already with us. John.
Abundance is, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you
for
so
Letty.
much.
Contribution. Correct. Very nice.
Yeah, we have hindi naman tayo nagkukulang eh.
Yes, sa totoo lang, we have a lot to be thankful for.
Yes.
And then the other people who greeted us were, of course, si Gemini, Rose GP, and
Jen
Angel,
Siva
Angel Gonzalo. Okay.
and Dory.
Dory, yes.
from Iloilo.
Thank you very much. And really, if we have all these inspirations that we can actually draw, like from the Bible, and we have also from people's lives, like General Lim, their examples, no, we can see that there's so much, even from Katie Stubblefield, may have been tragedy, but she was able to overcome that and, continue on and live for the purpose of helping others, after her experience and her mistake, So, talagang yung new beginnings natin, lagi-lagi na lang God-given opportunities na pinapadala sa atin. So, we cannot say na pinabayaan tayo, there's no more answer, there's no solution. Because just like my friend told me that there was this story of a housewife who killed herself in front of her children.
Oh my
God.
God.
And just yesterday, niya kinento na pumasok yung report na merong nanay nagpakamatay sa harap ng mga anak niya. So this is very sad that people have become hopeless. Just have to remember the basic knowledge, the basic wisdom that as Toby was saying, the Lord, our friend, our dearmost friend, is always with us. We are not alone. And that this friend of ours is very much willing to help us go through the challenges that we face in life. So we need not feel despondent, unhappy, or hopeless in our life.
There's so many sources of strength, but the strongest of all strengths is right in your heart. And it's just waiting.
Yeah.
Diba?
Just turn to Him for
Right.
help. You can talk to Him, you can listen to Him, and you can actually feel Him embrace you.
Yeah.
In His love.
You can practice meditation as a daily source of strength.
Yeah, reading scripture. The scripture is the word of God.
Listening to
And that is your
or
shelter. That is
singing
our
the,
true shelter.
the healing sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Praise music.
That's why for our friends, no matter what, a new beginning is something that takes place in our life every day. As soon as you wake
Yeah.
up in the morning, many times we tend to ask questions. What
We
am I
don't
going to
have-
do today?
We don't have to wait for next year.
Kaya hindi nga daw Happy New Year, Happy New Day.
So there's
Every
always...
moment, even.
Yeah, this is our nature. You analyze it. As soon as you wake up in the morning, see, questions
Oh,
arise in
another-
your head. Hindi mo, what am I going to do today?
Yung iba, inisip pag nagising sila, ay gusto ko pang matulog kasi wala naman akong gagawin today.
Ayun, may ginagawa yun. Yung tawag doon, wala kang gagawin. Action pa rin yun.
Yeah. Oo, yun yung resolution.
Those are activities. We never, by nature, we never run out of activities. The moment even when we are asleep, there's still action taking place. Can you imagine? Right?
Pero when you're thinking of others, helping others, talagang you'll never have a day where you're not gonna do something.
Right.
You never get bored if
And
you're thinking
always
of helping others.
Seek something that's a bit more, kumbaga,
Higher satisfaction.
caring for others, working with others. There's a social component that we all have in our own lives. And we should not be neglecting this. But the best thing that we can ever share with one another is one that uplifts us both. When you are the one sharing some uplifting info or living a wise or being a model, a wise man or wise woman, a wise person in general, you're dealing with a social component with other people. When you're part of uplifting everybody or people in your own life, and your own life is also uplifted by it. That experience is there too.
Before, in history, halimbawa yung people who belong to tribes, like the American Indian women, they would always have something to do aside from their daily work. But when they had time, they would make things. And these things, they would make beautiful things. They would save it for when they could give a gift to somebody. So everything they gave was handmade. Kasi wala naman stores noon, di ba? So people had hobbies. They would make clothes. They would make shoes. Some people would make knives. Whatever. They put all their effort into making it beautiful and strong. And then they just stash it away so that they always have something to give. It's a very nice way of doing and thinking and living, di ba? It's not that I'm making this for me, but no, I'm making it because it's beautiful and I want to have something to give.
This is something that is present before. When you make crafts, hindi ba nung araw there was no money involved?
Yes.
It was
barter
trading,
siya. Oo.
bartering, di ba? That's how. But yet, many times, such way of life was also a way to share with one another.
Yes.
You know.
Yun, ano yun eh, kasi personalized gifts.
Right.
You know,
Even dati,
personalized.
di ba, our great-great-grandmothers, they would embroider, crochet,
Stitch,
knit.
oo, mga ganyan. Oo.
And you know, anything that is done by hand and the effort of that person doing it, kumbaga ano, that's from the heart eh. You know, so,
Mas ano yun eh. At saka yung, kaya nga yung mga artistic skills
Yes,
na di-develop din in each individual.
Yes.
Because it's not yung, bibili na lang ako. Hindi ako kailangan gumawa. Hindi ba? So, ma-develop rin yung skills mo individually.
Yeah, and for example, for people who are senior citizens, you're at home, you're thinking, oh, you're not doing anything. You know, when I was in New Zealand, kasi my daughters are there, yeah. My daughter just gave birth. And she received a beautifully handmade blanket.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, knitted by the group of old ladies in the place. You know, the senior
Senior
citizens,
ladies.
they have this club. They just make all these cute little blankets, and anyone who has newly given birth, they gift her with that, you know. So, it makes you feel so warm, di ba? It was winter pa naman that time. So, it was so nice, you know. So, if you are at home and you have a skill and you're doing this to give to others, I'm telling you, malayo ka sa depression and feeling alone.
Masaya.
Oo, it's very
Okay,
nice.
yan. Meron din comments si Muriel for us to share. Okay.
develop your relationship with God so that you will always be motivated to begin when you fall.
Fail.
Just,
Fall, yes.
Just keep
sorry,
on
when you
going.
fail.
Yeah.
Just keep going on towards God.
Yes,
Ah,
very nice.
yes.
Thank you for that.
Oo.
Yeah.
That's true. That's
Kasi hindi
true.
ba the worst thing you could see? Hindi ba kahit bata, pag nadapa, o sabihin mo, tayo ka lang. You know, ganon, di ba?
yes.
But can you imagine if you saw a person fall in the streets, tapos hindi na siya tumayo? Parang naglupasay na lang siya doon. Parang, excuse me, anong ginagawa mo dyan? So it should be our viewpoint even in life. You know, ganun lang. Always tuloy-tuloy lang yan.
Yes.
Sabi nga nung isa
Keep going.
success is actually built upon a heap of failures.
Truly.
Oo, hindi
Truly,
ba mga
that's really true. Oo.
dinaanan mong paghihirap ay meron kang natutunan, and the best thing daw is actually sinabi rin na there's a proverb that goes like you learn something from success but you will learn more from failure.
Yes,
Right.
every
There are more
failure is
lessons from
actually a
failure.
step forward.
And one has to understand that the Spirit is always there, and that Spirit is always willing. That's the
Right.
idea, you know?
It's the flesh that's the problem.
Yeah. So when you feel like, you know, oops, things are not working as well anymore, but there's the Spirit, yeah, would always, okay, there was always going to be a means. There's always going to be a way. You know, you may not be able to do what you used to do 30 years, 40 years ago, but it doesn't mean you are not, kumbaga ano, since you're not doing as much as you used to, it doesn't mean that you are becoming a burden.
Yeah,
The
right.
last thing that you want to be
yes.
thinking is being a burden. You know, we have lived our life, we had peaks in our lives. But you know, one thing that we can be sharing, those who have experience, that's why the elderlies are so important in the guidance of the next younger generation.
Yeah.
The wisdom that they can provide is so vital. That's why,
So that they don't make the same mistakes we did.
in a family unit, you take care of everybody. There's a way for that to take place. Even in ancient times, especially. Noon, like now in modern times, you know, you hear about in other countries, pag umidad na ang isang family member, a mother or a father, they're sent to an old age home. But you hear about this, it's so sad, you know. Because one thing is your parents made a sacrifice to raise you. And then it is our duty. And it's so pleasing to do that, to take care of this. The person that love you and you love. You know, natural lang yun eh. This is an exchange of loving relationship and the wisdom that you can receive and experience from such people. And they're, kasi veterano sila eh.
Priceless.
Yeah, there's insights silang may share sa'yo na it's not mainly material or whatever it is. It's actually those that strengthens you from within.
Mga lessons.
Yeah.
Yes.
Life lessons.
Yes.
Di ba?
So our friends, let us, again, life is full of gifts. And having this human form of life, all the faculties that are given to us, it's always, every day of our life, we should always be so thankful. And we look forward to friendships, and share that love to everybody. Just as we have that love that grows in our hearts. And this love can be shared with everyone,
Right.
And this is how we should live our life. That caring, being with others, there's no substitute on sharing this love. And this is where true maturity lies in our lives.
Okay.
So, to everyone, maraming salamat ho sa inyong lahat. Thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you again next time.
Yeah, and
Yes.
guys, this is a new year, huh? Let's leave all the past behind that was hard. Let's start anew.
And, there's such experiences of difficulty gives you an insight that you learn from it. Diba? And then, kumbaga,
Keep going.
babangon na naman
Yeah.
tayo. It becomes an opportunity. A difficult experience right now can also be an opportunity for us to be better people, to mature for the better. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
everyone.
God bless and have a nice
See you
weekend.
again.
Yeah, look
See you.
for all those silver linings. They're everywhere.
Okay.
Thank you.
Pangkalusugan, pangkalikasan, Gopalakas. Hari ho ni Tago.